Hello everyone, it's Irene again. Today I thought about bringing you a game called Phantom of the Twilight. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if this is going to work or not. And of course, it's going to be a problem for me if this doesn't work, because I'm going to be probably passing some hours in here, and maybe I won't be able to publish this. I'm saying this because I had a ton of issues to actually be able to even try to stream this, to record this. And why? I don't know. Maybe it's some issue of compatibility, of compatibility between the game and my software to record the games. So that's why you're not even listening the sound of the game in the background as usual. Yeah, there's a lot of issues going on here. And I cannot even open another window or something because the game is the recording just goes down. So I just took the description of the game, so I can tell you a bit about it. I decided to do the demo of this game. Why? Because it's currently 45% off the price. This is from 2024. It's from Lumiere Entertainment. And when I was seeing the brand, I was I think they have a ton of Android apps. I have this idea that they have apps going on too. And it's voice acted in Korean. This is a Korean game. And I also thought about bringing this one because I've been a bit sore on my throat because of all of the voice recording that I've been doing. So I thought about bringing one that would have at least a bit of voice so I wouldn't have to talk so much. And the story goes step into the 19th century London during a dazzling technological revolution. As Lady Lucy of Lindere family, you discover a gruesome murder in your state. The body found in a pool of blood belongs to Mary, a maid who had grown close to you over the years. Shocked by her sudden death, Lucy, accompanied by her loyal butler Charlie, sets out to find the culprit. Joining them is the detective Aaron and Professor Harvey. Together they edge closer to uncovering the identity of the murderer, unaware of the merciless truth that lies ahead. This is what the game says about itself. Let me see if this is going to work or not. Oh, and the sound. Oh my god, I had some issues with the sound in here. Okay, you are probably hearing now. Because the options, you only have these, and can you hear the yeah, it's the arrow thing, the cursor, the arrow. And I was trying to put it lower, the sound, and there is just no way. And if I use the master, it kind of does nothing. And even the voice, it was really, really loud. And if I put it in here, it's kind of okay. And if I put it in here, I do not listen at all. But between here and here, it's kind of it's kind of almost the same. It's really loud. I don't know what's going on in here, honestly. So yeah, in terms of the options, a bit lacklusting, let's call it. So Let's go back to the title. My dearest, you are always the most special presence in my heart. I vow to always be by your side through thick and thin. With all my love. I think for the purposes we should keep Lucy, right? So let's skip Lucy, it's fine. So chapter 1. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I've heard before that the translation is not the best one. So let's see what's going to come from here. Okay. 28 something. A Lakers Saint in London. Lakers Saint. So this is Mary, probably the maid. Oh, look at the time. It took too long for me to choose the handkerchief for my lady's birthday. By the way, if you like to use the enter key like I like to use to pass to the next one, you cannot use it in here. But I mean, you have auto and all of it. I'm clicking because I'm reading. I wouldn't say this type of serif font is like the best, and you do not have another type of choice, especially like if you have dyslexity, right? Oh my God, I'm sorry. Like, it's the beginning of the day. I'm always like this. You already know I'm always like this. So yeah, you only have like this font and you cannot mess about it. She must be waiting for me. My, what would she do without us? The woman heard another set of footprints echoing from the dark alleyway behind her and turned around, nervous. Something feels off. I should make haste back to the mansion. She hurried her footsteps to outpace them, but the other set of footsteps grew faster and faster as well. The woman started running without even looking back. However, she realized she didn't have enough time and quickly changed directions towards the streets. It seemed safer to head out to the streets and blend in with the crowd. The woman was certain that someone was following her. Fearful of the footsteps that she was unable to make distance from, she ran, feeling like her lungs were about to burst until she finally approached a bright light. There's a shop that's still open, thank heavens. I should go in there. As the woman slowed down in relief, she was dragged back into the darkness that she so desperately tried to escape from. Next day, Lindere mansion. Sorry if it's not like that. I prefer to say it more like in the way we would say it.
아가씨? 아가씨?
The sunlight peeking through the thin curtains, the soft and comfortable sheets, and the sound of birds gleefully singing. It's been a while since the morning felt this relaxing. I'd like to stay in a bed a little longer. I was well aware of who was attempting to wake me up.
예정된 시간에서 벌써 10분이나 지났습니다.
The strictly punctual butler of the Lindere estate always disapproved of me sleeping in like this.
아가씨?
Oh my god, she's like moving so much. Her lips. So much. It's such a nice day. 10 minutes should be fine. If I hide under the sheets really quickly, maybe...
무의미한 일이라는 걸 알면서도 왜 매번 도전하시는 걸까요? 이럴수록 아가씨의 오늘 휴식 시간이 줄어들 뿐인데요.
Charlie, do be sensible.
그럼요.
I haven't had a break like this for quite some time, and I've had to suffer through countless balls because of father. I'm utterly exhausted.
사실관계는 정확하게 말씀하셔야죠. 아가씨가 아직 피곤하다고 느끼는 건 며칠 동안 계속 밤을 새서 책을 읽고 잤기 때문이에요.
Do you blame me? Those dance nobles who think they are the new sages. Sages? Oh my god, I don't know how to say it. I know what it means, but this happens to me quite a lot. Like, I know what it means, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Sages? I'm sorry if I'm saying it. If I'm murdering your native language. Sorry. I'm going to say it's sages. I don't know. New sagas were affecting my sanity and intelligence.
그건 이해합니다만 밤새 책을 읽으신 건 아가씨의 자업자득이죠. 그걸 핑계 삼아 언제까지 이렇게 빈둥거리실 생각이죠? 이런 건 3살 이후로 졸업하셨어야죠.
3-year-old children, quite exaggeration.
제 눈에 당신은 항상 3살짜리 어린애나 다름없습니다.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like this is the best type of font that you could use in here, because it's very thin. It's not only that, serif types of fonts. This is a common logic for people that study design and stuff like that. They are not the best for digital content. So like this type of font is not the best for digital content, the serif one. And not only serif one, it's very thin, which doesn't help either. Like I would say like it's in a large kind of state, and that's okay, but the type of font, yeah, not the best. That's because you've been alive for too long.
부정은 할 수 없겠네요.
It wasn't often that the sunlight was this strong, and it was shining down behind a beautiful silver-haired man before me, creating a picturesque scene. As I looked into his blood-colored eyes, I felt like acting like an actual 3-year-old child. Why don't you help me up then? As a 3-year-old, it's hard to get up from bed all by myself. It was an obvious joke, but Charlie, upon hearing me, smiled ear to ear. If someone else were to see his face right now, they would assume he was the sweetest butler there ever was.
뻔뻔하시긴.
Okay.
정말 3살짜리 어린애보다 더 강적이시군요.
Sorry, give me just 1 second. Okay. But he isn't.
지금 그 명을 내리신 걸 후회하게 될 겁니다.
What? I only ask that you help me up. What are you going to do?
3살짜리 어린애처럼 대접받길 원하셨으니 그대로 해드려야죠.
Yeah, I know. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry. Back again.
따뜻한 목욕물부터 욕조에 받아놓는 게 좋겠군요. 어린아이는 아침에 체온이 떨어지기 쉬우니 일단 푹 담가서 구석구석 씻겨드린 후에 손가락 하나 까딱하지 않게 하나하나 옷을 직접 입혀드리고 그 다음에는 베이비시트에 앉힌 뒤 유아식을.
Stop. Fine, I'll get up. Because I am an adult who is capable of getting up alone.
아쉽네요. 꽤 재미있을 것 같았는데.
With a mischievous laugh, he politely bowed and headed out.
눈 회복에 좋은 블루베리 차를 준비해 놓을 테니 씻고 서재로 내려오세요.
Blueberry tea. I'm not actually a big fan of blueberries. In fact, I'm not a big fan of any type of berries, fruit. I eat them and they are very good for your system. But I'm not actually like the biggest fan. Charlie, known to be the very competent butler of the Lindere estate, was on the job as always. The Linderes had been maintaining Earl status for a long time, and the smallest misstep led to a mountain of paperwork. It hadn't been long since I succeeded my father in handling tasks as the Countess, but I was constantly reminded of how difficult things actually were.
아가씨, 조금 쉬다 하시죠.
Oh, is it tea time already? I removed myself from the desk that was supporting countless documents and sat on the sofa. Charlie handed me a warm cup of black tea and a piece of apple pie. The Early Grey is decent today.
오늘 레드 와인도 나쁘지 않군요.
What? She has tea and red wine to accompany you? What? Like, I wouldn't mix. I like red wine, okay? But I wouldn't mix tea and red wine. You know? What a combination. Tea time at 3 in the afternoon. As the Linderes have always prioritized taking breaks, even in the midst of a hectic day, I used that time to enjoy a cup of tea while Charlie indulged in a glass of wine. Oh, okay. Because I was like, what? It was because he was unable to taste anything other than wine. Okay. I think I'm almost done for the day.
꽤 빠르시군요. 백장님께서 아가씨께 역할을 맡긴 지 얼마 되지 않는 것 치고는 불평 한마디 없이 꽤 잘하고 계시는 것 같습니다.
Is that so? Say it's my duty. Confess that it's been difficult. So do we want to act as the responsible type of person, or it's just like, oh, I don't want to be doing this. What a bother. Like, I think this depends, like, the guy you are trying to approach. Like, this guy, the butler, for instance, he likes probably the responsible type of a woman. And maybe other guys are going to prefer this one. I don't know. I'm not looking into any of them, so it doesn't matter for me right now. And yeah, thinking about this, we are probably going to reach like a bad end somewhere. I do suppose. Yeah. It's my duty as the heir of the house Lindere. It's certainly not a breeze, but I would like to do better.
언제 이렇게 다 크셨을까? 오늘 아침만 해도 일어나기 싫다고 칭얼대시던 분이 하루가 다르게 성장하고 있네요.
When you put it like that, it makes it sound like I'm going to grow old quite quickly. I want a long and prosperous life, you know? Anyways, this concerns the lives of everyone living on the estate. I'm not capable of personally taking care of everyone in this area, but this is the least I can do.
훌륭하십니다.
Charlie swirled the half-empty wine glass and grinned towards me. I got up from my seat, picking up the cold tea and one bite of the apple pie I had left. Let's take care of the smaller tasks first. My lady, Hmm? Oh, I thought it was a guy, sorry. A maid brushed into the room, breathing heavily. Charlie put down his glass and frowned slightly as he turned to speak to her.
루이스? 지금 노크도 하지 않고 서재문을 연 겁니까?
Yeah, because Louis is a guy's name for us. That's why I thought it was a guy. Sorry.
아무리 신입이라 해도 이건 기본이 안 되어 있는 것 같은데. 누가 이런 식으로 가르쳤죠? 에블린? 메리?
My apologies, but
변명은 필요 없어요. 지금 당장 나가서 문을 닫고 노크한 후 대답을 기다리세요. 아가씨의 허락이 떨어지지 않는 한 절대 먼저 문을 열지 말아요.
Charlie, please, you have to listen to me. Mary's... yeah, talking about this because I don't want to offend anyone, which is true. One thing that it's very common, and I keep seeing it, is that, for instance, in the Eastern countries, you have a lot of names, and probably that's why it is like this. You have a lot of names that can be used for a girl and a guy. Can be used for both, like the same name can be used for both. When I was in the United States, you also had a ton of names that you could use as a woman or as a man. Like, for instance, Gail, Tony, like you can use for both. And let me tell you something, which is like a hard truth that I don't know if you know or not. In here in Europe, most of the names, and I would even say, especially like in my country, some of the languages that you have in here, they have a very specific set to what is male and what is female. Okay, do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, for instance, for transgender people, it's kind of hard because in here, like Louise in here, would never be a girl's name. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like in here, I noticed that in the US and even in countries in Eastern, they do use it, and that's why, because this is a Korean game. But in Europe, one reality that you may not know is that it's better for you to change your name. I'm being honest, it's better for you to change your name because in here, people are going to treat you, if you are Louise, and imagine you are a transgender type of person, but you want to be recognized as a she or something. People are going to treat you as, for instance, Louise, people are going to treat you as a guy. Okay, I'm not joking with you. Why? Because in here it's more like if you are Louis and if you are Louise, okay, Louise with E at the end, it's fine, you are a girl. If you are Louis, you are a guy. In here it's like this because it's the construction of our native language that works like that, okay? For instance, in my language, we have a difference between the O and the A. And if it's an A, it's going to be a girl. If it's an O, it's going to be a guy. Okay, it's like that. So imagine if you don't identify with the gender that you have, whatever. I would tell is in here is better for you to change your name than actually keep it like that. That's why, like, do not get upset if I said, oh, I saw Louis and I thought it was a guy. Do not get upset about it. It's because it's a cultural thing rooted within us. Because for us, it doesn't make sense, for instance, for Louis to be a girl. It messes with our mind because it's rooted in our native language identity. More like that, okay? It has nothing to do with you accepting or not accepting the other person as a he, she, they, whatever. It's how to put it? It just makes sense in our language to be a he or a she, or yeah. Sorry if I offended anyone with this, but it wasn't my intention. It's something that it's native to me because of my own language that really, really differentiates between people. Okay. So it's totally fine for you to have this name and be a girl. It's just the way my language treats this situation. And we are kind of aware of this, and I don't know if they are going to end up... I don't think they are going to end up doing nothing, because it's the language in itself. Do you understand? It's like I don't think we could do something about it unless like changing the complete language in itself. Yeah, it would be really hard. But I think we are walking towards a situation in terms of globalization where in the end we are probably just going to break with all of these differences and cultural and language differences, and we're just going to have probably like a universal type of language and stuff like that. Probably not in the near future, but maybe in a distant one. So let's just continue. Charlie, please, you have to listen to me. Mary's...
루이스? 문을 닫고 나가라고 했을 텐데요. 당신 교육 담당이 메일입니까? 그녀는 이런 식으로 어설프게 가르치지 않을 텐데.
Mary's dad. What? I wasn't fully paying attention to Charlie and Louis' conversation until I heard the unthinkable and dropped my cup of tea.
이런. 아가씨, 홍차를 치마에 전부 흘리셨군요. 닦을 것을 가지고 오죠.
That's not the problem here. Louis, what did you just say? I approached Louis with vacant eyes, stepping on the apple pie on the way, and grasped Louis' shoulders as she shuddered. It's kind of hard to read with this font. Just hoping that what I heard was nothing but a bad joke. Mary was killed. However, no, not her. However, I could tell that she was telling the truth. Oh. Yeah, I was trying to skip that because I always try to skip those because of copyright issues. It's a demo, but sometimes I have copyright issues just because of the trailers and stuff like that. And it needs the acceptance by the other party, and sometimes they do not accept because it's like, imagine it's not the trailer, it's the music, and it needs to be the music that accepts it, whatever. It's a mess. And I always try to skip it, but many times the game do not allow you. You can only skip after you saw it at least one time. So yeah, let's see how it works. Woman. Oh dear, what a tragedy. This is the third time, isn't it? Someone being discovered like this. I heard it's getting more brutal each time. It seems someone was violently hacked with a knife. Heavens, there's even a pool of blood. This isn't a show. Step away from the scene. We will be questioning witnesses based on those who live nearby. The location that Louis told me of was already crowded. The third time, violently hacked. Who was? Mary was?
꽤 넓은 범위에서 아주 진한 피냄새가 나는군요. 보아하니 아직 현장 그대로의 상태일 것 같은데 꼭 직접 눈으로 보셔야겠습니까? 살해당한 사람이 정말로 메리라면 아가씨가 충격이 클 겁니다.
I'm aware. Are they able to see the scene? I mean, usually they do not allow that. I mean, they are not detectives. They are not part of the police. Say you don't care. Say it's a bit frightening. I am more the logical type. I probably would be a bit cold, and yeah, people sometimes point that out to me because I am that type of person. I'm a bit cold, but I'm going to put her a bit more fragile, and I'm going to say that I'm a bit frightening. I don't know if I can stay sane since it's my first time coming to a scene like this. But if it's truly Mary on the floor there, I can't ignore it. So if I am to stumble, I'll trust you to catch me.
정말 고집불통이시군요. 그냥 보지 않으시면 해결될 일을.
Charlie.
그 자리에 주저앉으셔도 됩니다. 아가씨를 부축하는 건 언제든 제 할 일이니까요.
I don't want to embarrass myself like that. I took a deep breath and walked past the crowd closer to the body. Passing by. Oh my, Lady Lucy. Why is she here? I could hear people talk, but that wasn't important. As I approached the police line, I could hear my own heart beat faster and faster. And when I reached the closest point to the scene, I could see a hand poking out of the cloth covering the body. The ground she was laying on was drenched in crimson blood, and I instinctively knew that this was the start of an unusual case. Perhaps that body isn't Mary. It could be someone else. Louis might have mistaken it for Mary. Well, even if it were someone else, it doesn't change the fact that someone faced a gruesome death. I'm sorry, I don't know if you are appreciating the sound, but a bit too loud on my ears. Sorry. I was struggling to accept everything that was happening before my eyes. I was blankly standing in front of the police line when someone approached me, a detective who seemed to be in charge of the scene.
그쪽은 린델 백 작가의 영입은 맞습니까?
Oh, he kind of said it more like Lindere, which actually makes more sense, Lindere, than Lindere. Lindere. Okay. Yes, I am.
여긴 당신 같은 귀한 분이 가볍게 놀러 올 만한 곳은 아닐 텐데요.
Gawking at the man who was scanning me up and down with his emerald eyes didn't seem to have a good impression of me. As a noble family that has held power for a long time, we had plenty of enemies and were often the targets of unfounded hostility.
이건 구경거리가 아닙니다.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting these. I mean, who is she to just go there and, be messing with the scene?
계속 여기 서 있으면 수사에 방해가 되니 자리를 피해 주시죠.
However, it could have been Mary who was the one on the cold, hard ground, and I had no intentions of backing out until I examine it for myself. Make a logical rebuttal, stay silent for a bit. I don't know what type of logical rebuttal would she make in here, since we don't even know if it's Mary. Who is she to be in there more than any other person? Like, I want to know what kind of logical rebuttal she's going to give. I'm not here to gawk at anything. The victim seems to be someone I know. I'm here to check her identity. Well, yes, but that doesn't mean that you need to be like up and close there, okay? You can just tell one of the detectives, I may know the person, I may identify her. You don't need to be up close. I don't believe we've met before. If you recognized who I was, wouldn't it have been more appropriate to ask why I was here? As you mentioned, this isn't a scene for someone of my stature to be gawking at. I try my best to maintain my calm and make my argument, and the man quietly stared back. I probably wouldn't see it like that, but yeah.
그 말이 맞네요. 무리를 사과드리죠.
Oh, okay. He apologized and didn't try to put up a fight, which was unexpected. He soon took out a notebook from his pocket. Yeah, it is unexpected for me, because, I mean, you can still like call one of the detectives from far away and say, wait, maybe I know the victim, you know, like, you don't have to be like up and close. That's not a logical rebuttal. Sorry, my friend.
그럼 여길 찾아온 이유에 대해서 묻죠. 왜 오신 거죠? 피해자의 지인입니까?
Yeah, I don't even know. If the victim is Mary Chapman, yes.
불행한 일이지만 맞습니다.
How do you know that? How can you be certain about it?
정보는 어디서 듣고 왔죠?
I mean, she hasn't identified yet who has identified the victim for them to be so certain about it. Because, you know, during these times, you didn't have like another way to confirm. You needed people to confirm the victim. So I'm like, how do they know? Okay. Mary's a maid who has been working for the Lindere, I like to say Lindere, for a long time. There's a girl, Louise, who Mary was close with. Louise said that Mary had not come back after going out to buy something. And I'm here now because Louise came back from her outing and heard about Mary. Apparently, one of the witnesses recognized Mary on the ground. Oh, okay.
알겠습니다. 그럼 조만간 참고인 자격으로 얘기를 들어볼 가치는 있겠네요. 때가 되면 백 작가로 찾아갈 테니 나머지는 경찰에게 맡기고 저택으로 돌아가서 차나 마시면서 기다리시죠.
I mean, he's being kind of like, he's saying this in kind of a rude way, but I mean, it's true. Okay, now what you doing in here? You know, let's go back to your mansion. It's kind of like that. Excuse me? Wait, is that it?
아직 현장에서 해야 할 일이 많아서요.
I say this because, like, maybe you are more the emotional type of person, but I tell you this, like, when you are working on a scene, you need space, you need to look at things, you know, like, you cannot have, like, people like her going around in there, you know, like, sorry, go back to your house and then we'll take care of you when we finish here, you know, like, why would you get upset about that? People are doing their work, you know, just like that. He put his notebook back in his pocket and crossed the police line back into the scene. I wanted to hear more about the case. Yeah, that's why you wanted to stay there, right? How will things be handled here? what will happen to Mary? I had a plethora of questions, but it didn't seem like the man was going to provide any answers. Charlie, I believe a morse? Isn't that a morse? I believe a morse is somewhere nearby, right?
그렇죠. 바로 저 앞이니까요.
Parocha. Perhaps Felix has some information. I should head there. I left the scene and made my way to Amorche. It seems like the way they put it seems like
어서 오세요.
it seemed like an Italian word. Okay.
아, 아가씨. 웬일로 여기까지 오셨어요?
I felt consoled by the sweet aroma that enveloped me as soon as I walked into the shop. Felix was standing behind the counter and gave me a bright smile as he saw me come in.
아가씨가 드실 만한 케이크는 이미 전부 백작가로 보냈는데 혹시 제가 이번에 보낸 것들이 마음에 들지 않으셨던 건가요? 지금 당장 가게에 있는 메뉴는 많지 않지만 이거라도 드셔보실래요?
He went into the kitchen behind the counter to fetch something before I even had the chance to respond. What is this?
체리 푸딩 케이크인데 어떠세요?
Cherry pudding cake. Another type of I don't know, like berry, whatever. Okay. Refuse, say it's not an appropriate time, accept it. Like, she would be feeling kind not okay, I would presume, right now, if she was close to this maid, as Jay told us in the description of the game. So let's role play a bit and say that. But this is going to make this guy's route is going to be affected. Because he wants us to accept the cake. Let's roleplay and say that it's not an appropriate time because we're not feeling very well or whatever. The pudding cake looked delicious with its cherry on top, but I turned away from the tempting dessert. Felix, now's not a good time. I'm not here to eat cake.
그게 아니더라도 한번 드셔보세요. 자신 있게 만든 케이크거든요.
I'll try it another time.
그렇게 말씀하시곤 저번에도 잊어버리셨으면서. 알겠어요.
Oh, then our girl is just like that type. She's just too much into her stuff and yeah. Sometimes you kind of you need to be a bit considerate of the people. It appears for the conversation that he's having that she only goes there when she needs something to ask favors. Do you understand? This is what it seems to me. And that's not good. He seemed a little disappointed, but he shrugged and moved on. Anyway, Felix, have you heard?
어떤 소식이요?
This morning near your shop there was a...
살인 사건 말씀하시는군요. 왜 모르겠어요. 바로 저 앞에서 일어났는데.
Have you heard anything about the case? Witnesses, suspects, or why Mary died?
글쎄요. 정확하게는 저도 잘 몰라요. 아침에 갑자기 누군가가 여기 시체가 있다며 비명을 질렀고 경찰이 와서 보더니 살인 사건이라고 하더라고요. 그리고는 보다시피 저렇게 밤낮으로 증거를 찾겠다고 길을 막아놨어요. 손님들 말로는 몇 번이나 칼에 배를 찔려서 죽었대요.
I heard that too.
그렇군요. 왜 이렇게 흉흉한 일이 일어났는지 모르겠네요. 아가씨는 괜찮으세요?
I'm okay. Felix doesn't know anything either. I had no choice but to come back to the mansion, having gained no information on Mary's death. Yeah, this is like another thing. I never know when to say either or either. It's like, I don't know if there's like a difference. So, once again, I'm sorry for murdering your native language. Like, I should study a bit more. I know so many languages that sometimes it's like it's too many on my mind to keep track of everything. That night I was alone in the study, deep in thought. Maybe it's best to just wait until the case is closed, like that detective said. But after I forced myself to swallow the dinner that was prepared for me, I felt troubled whenever I stood on the balcony to look down at the garden Mary used to tend to, or whenever I saw the handkerchief she used to iron for me. Is there nothing I can do besides just waiting? Yeah, I don't know, like people from a newer generation. I don't know if you know this, but you used to have a lot the use like of handkerchiefs, like fabric ones. It was like a really common thing, and I think you started seeing more of like the paper themed kind of ones. Maybe more during like the 80s, 90s, more like that. But it used to be like a thing of even like during my childhood. It used to be a thing like everyone would have a fabric type of handkerchief. It was a thing, you know. But I know I'm telling this because I know there's a lot of people from a newer generation that when we talk about a handkerchief, they think about the paper one. But I mean, this is from like the 19th century, right? Even more so in there. Like it was always like the fabric one. And it was like a really common thing. Until recently, it was a very common thing for you to carry handkerchief, okay, with you all the time.
아가씨, 제가 도와드릴까요?
For what?
고민하고 계시잖아요. 메리를 위해 뭐라도 하고 싶어서.
I guess there's no hiding it from you.
당연하죠. 당신이 눈도 뜨지 못하고 올 때부터 봐왔으니까요.
Right, I know there's not much I can do. I'm certain someone will accuse me of meddling in affairs where I don't belong. Well, yes. But Mary was like family to me. If I can use the Lindere name to do something, I'll like to do it.
아가씨가 원하신다면 그렇게 해야죠. 그 누가 뭐라고 하든지요.
Charlie smiled gently as he handed me a warm glass of milk. By the way, their names are not Charlie and Aaron and Felix and all of that. It's in the localization they adapt the names, you know. The next day, Charlie and I head to a college that was famous for attracting nobles who like it to study. King's College, why are we here?
여기에 아가씨를 도와줄 사람이 있거든요.
Is that so? Who is it?
직접 만나보시면 압니다. 자, 이제부터는 혼자 가세요. 저기 보이는 401호에 있을 겁니다.
You've come all this way just to send me alone into the room. What about you?
제가 지금 아가씨와 같이 가면 도망칠 게 뻔해서요.
Really? What? Why? Charlie was gone with the wind without having answered my question. The last thing I saw was a cryptic smile on his face. There should be a reason he's acting that way. I was curious, but this wasn't the first time Charlie was acting weird. I left the thought behind and made my way to the room. Room 401? This must be it. There was a small nameplate next to the door. Harvey Ross, Department of Psychology. Is he a professor here at the King's College? I knocked on the door and a gentle voice answered from within.
네, 들어오세요.
Excuse me. I took a deep breath and carefully opened the door. A man was leaning against the desk, reading a book under the sunlight that was shining down from the broad window. The man's blonde hair was loosely tied, and he was wearing a dark crimson suit, which matched his eyes. He let a guest in, but did not even turn to look at who had come in. Greetings, I'm Lucy. I introduced myself, and the eyes that were fixated on the book turned to me. My heart skipped a beat as his indifferent face turned into a soft smile.
이름은 익숙한데 처음 보는 얼굴이네요. 이 학교의 학생은 아닌 것 같은데. 무슨 일로 날 찾아왔죠?
I thought Charlie knew him. He seems to have no clue as to why I'm here. I wanted to interrogate Charlie about what was going on, but at the moment I had no choice but to answer his question. Ask if he does detective work. Say that you are a student here. I don't want to lie about it. I don't know, do we? To be honest, I don't even know, do we study in there? I mean, depending on the date, maybe we could be studying it there. I don't know. Because she's a woman, that's why I'm saying that. Perhaps he also works as a detective apart from his professor occupation. I carefully asked the question with uncertainty. The nameplate said you were a psychology professor. Have you ever investigated a crime-related case?
그런 건 왜 물어보죠?
Well, what's happening? Charlie told me that he was going to be helpful. I was worried that the conversation would end here, so I decided to come clean. I'll be honest, there's a case that I want to look into. Will you help me investigate it?
이름이 뭐라고 하셨죠? 나는 말 그대로 심리학과 교수이지 탐정이 아니에요.
Oh my god, like for a moment I looked at his cane in his hand. But when I looked at it, it seemed like a hammer, like he had a hammer in his hand. I was like, does he have a hammer in his hand? But it's not, it's a cane. But I was like, does he have a hammer? Oh my god.
당신은 정확히 내게 뭘 부탁하러 온 거죠?
Well, why on earth did Charlie bring me here? I was still lost, but I decided to try to convince the professor to help me with the investigation. I'm not asking you to solve the case, and I am not delusional enough to think that I could solve the case alone. I would just like some assistance in making more sense of this whole case. What are the inner workings of a perpetrator who commits these awful crimes? Why did the culprit kill Mary? These are the questions I'm hoping to know the answers to. I think, in my view, we got little to nothing about what happened to even like start making some kind of assumptions in here. She didn't saw nothing. She only saw a hand or something. She didn't even look at her face. She only has like very, very bland type of rumors going on. Okay.
심리학을 배운다고 그 심리를 완벽하게 이해하게 된다면 당신은 이미 스스로가 아니라 그 범인이겠죠. 당신이 그 심연을 오랫동안 들여다본다면 심연 또한 당신을 들여다보게 될 테니까요.
Do you mean to tell me that it is reckless to even try?
그렇지는 않아요. 계기가 무엇이든 진리를 탐구하는 것은 항상 옳은 시도니까요.
He closed his book, stood upright, and looked back at me. Anyway, I'm here because Charlie told me about this place and
찰리?
I tried to progress the conversation, but I soon realized had I made a mistake. As I mentioned the name Charlie, his face turned stone cold. And
아, 이제야 기억이 났나 보네요.
before Harvey could step back and open the door, Charlie was blocking his path with a relaxed smile. With a short, heavy sigh, Harvey attempted to walk past Charlie, ignoring his questions. Yeah. So in Korean, his name is really Charlie. Okay, but I'm not certain about the others. Let's see. However, Charlie did not budge.
지금 아가씨와 얘기 중일 텐데. 어딜 나가려고?
비켜요. 난 더 이상 얘기할 생각이 없습니다.
누구 맘대로.
They do have something in particular. They do have the same red eyes. Does this mean they are some kind of supernatural type of being or something? I don't know.
그 누구도 함부로 아가씨와의 대화를 끊을 수 없어.
What's going on between them? I can sense that there's bad blood. Tell Harvey to stay. Tell Charlie to back down. I think we've been giving more to Charlie until now. I'm concerned that I start giving to each other and then I'll run into a bad end just during the demo. And as you see, I usually do not save. Okay, whatever, I'm going to try it. Wait, Professor. Please, hear me out. I had no intention of forcing you to do something. I assumed you and Charlie were acquainted, but I had no idea you would be this uncomfortable.
이제 와서 그런 사실 확인이 무슨 의미가 있죠? 난 저자와 얽히고 싶은 생각이 추호도 없어요. 당신이 어떤 사람이든지요.
Perhaps he could tell I was desperate for my voice. Even though his words were harsh, his expression has softened a little. I've been feeling like the English is not bad, but it has some rough parts here and there. It's more like that. It is okay. Like, I think it's okay, but sometimes there's like some rough parts in here and there.
그 이름을 들었을 때 알아챘어야 하는데. 린델가의 개가 되어버린 당신이 머무르는 곳이었다는 걸요.
알아챘어도 소용없어요. 어차피 이렇게 될 거였을 테니.
It seems like he knows why Charlie is with Lindere. That means... I looked into Harvey's eyes, which were glaring at Charlie. They had a similar red hue that Charlie's eyes, but slightly darker. Are you a vampire as well? Oh, so you see? Now we know Charlie is a vampire. Probably that's why, like, the red wine. I don't know if it was wine or something else. And apparently Harvey is a vampire too. Probably, I don't know.
언제인지는 정확하게 기억이 나지 않지만 100년 전쯤 병에 걸려 죽어가던 젊은 남자에게 제 피를 나눠줬던 건 기억합니다.
Oh.
하지만 이제는 거의 반쪽짜리라고 할 수 있죠. 한동안 흡혈을 하지 않았으니
How would you know that, Charlie?
그에게서 인간의 피 냄새가 나질 않으니까요.
I see. I knew that Charlie's blood can turn people into immortal vampires, as Charlie is the original vampire. I also knew that the vampires he created lived among us in secret. It seemed like Harvey was one of them.
내 개인적인 일을 허락도 없이 잘도 털어놓는군요. 당신은 나를 만들어냈다는 이유 하나만으로 여전히 오만하고 깔보는 듯한 시선으로 쳐다보곤 하죠.
당연한 일입니다. 내 피로 태어난 후손이니 다시 죽이든 살리든 그 누구도 뭐라고 할 수 없지 않나요? 아가씨 이외에 내 존중을 받을 수 있는 인간 따위 존재하지 않아요.
나 또한 당신에게 존중받고 싶은 생각 따위 없어요. 그러니 지금 그냥 나가주세요.
Wait, Professor.
말해두지만 당신이 저자가 섬기는 사람이란 걸 안 이상 협조할 수는 없어요. 게다가 다시 말하지만 난 경찰도 아니고 탐정도 아니에요. 조사하고 싶은 사건이 무엇이든 간에 내가 정보를 얻을 방법도 없고 알고 싶지도 않아요. 난 도움이 되지 못할 거예요. 그러니 돌아가 주세요.
Professor. I turned to Harvey, hoping he'll recognize how important this was, but he looked away and sat down behind his desk with a guilty expression. He was making it clear that he did not wish to engage in any more conversation. I'll be visiting again. I stood there for a moment before I made my departure with a short goodbye. I scolded Charlie as soon as I returned to the mansion. You are to blame here, Charlie. We were there to ask for help, yet we were over ill-mannered.
그자는 뱀파이어가 된 순간부터 제게 호의적인 태도는 아니었습니다. 예전에도 왜 멋대로 뱀파이어로 만들었냐면서 저를 원망하는 말을 쏟아낸 적이 많았거든요. 아마 도와달라고 두 손 들고 빌어도 별 소용은 없었을 거예요. 오히려 미친 거냐고 헛소리나 들었겠죠.
What? Then how were you going to get his help?
힘으로 밀어붙일 생각이었습니다만
To force him. Charlie was undoubtedly a brilliant butler, but he could be quite eccentric when it came to interacting with people other than me. I wasn't sure if being the original vampire made him that way, or if he was always like that. I mean, if you were a vampire, would you want to just be a butler? Unless he owes some kind of a really big favor to the Lindere family. I don't see a reason why a vampire would be a butler, you know?
재미있는 능력을 가지고 있는 자라서 이전부터 가끔 찾아가서 도움을 받곤 했었어요. 그래서 이번에도 들러본 것인데
It sounds like you didn't ask for his help, rather you forced him to help.
뭐 본인은 그렇게 생각할지도 모르죠.
Charlie, you are too shameless sometimes.
아무튼 그때보다 더 완고해졌네요. 죽을 때가 되어서 그런 건지. 일단 다른 방법을 좀 더 생각해보죠.
Fine. I leaned on the soft sofa and became lost in thought. As far as I was aware, Mary had a young daughter who lived with her relatives and did not own a house. Maybe the crime scene has been cleared now. What happens to the body that's taken away from the crime scene? It seems right that I hold the funeral for her. Questions led to more questions. Without any answers, I felt frustrated. I got up from the sofa and put on my coat again. Charlie, I'm going back to the crime scene.
동행하겠습니다.
As always, Charlie disappeared into the dark with a smile. The brutal murder scene was mostly cleaned up as expected. However, there were still police lines surrounding the area where Mary was. It seems they still don't want people to pass. Mary. I put down the flower bouquet I made with the flowers from the garden she used to tend to, and reminisced about the face of a friend who was not with us anymore. She would sometimes nag me more than Charlie, but she was a kind person who would treat me with love. She used to gift embroidery for my birthday every year. I should have told her not to go out that night. I should have given her something to do at the house so she wouldn't have gone out. I couldn't stop thinking about the things I had no power to change. This is like the worst type of thing you can do when you are grieving someone. You should not keep thinking about the what ifs and whatnots about the situation. It happened because it had to happen, because there were choices that took the person there. It doesn't matter. It happened, okay? There's nothing you can do against it. So, the sorrowful feeling of loss echoed inside me. At that moment, I heard someone's footsteps approach, and before I knew it, I was hiding in the alleyway. Oh, that's the detective from this morning. He was holding a bouquet of white flowers under the faint street light. He slowly walked up to the scene of the crime and came to an halt.
먼저 왔다간 손님이 있는 건가?
I heard him muttering as he looked at the flower bouquet I put down earlier. Is he here to put down flowers as well? But it didn't seem like he knew Mary. Murders were not an oddity in London. I lost someone close to me, but it was interesting to see a detective who is probably in charge of several cases visit with flowers. He was so heartless with me earlier. He was heartless because when you are dealing with this type of work, you kind of need to be heartless. I'm sorry, it is the truth. I was stirred by his calm, serious eyes, which were completely different from when he was looking at me this morning. I'm saying this because if you become a very emotional person, a very empathetic type of person, the other person, imagine her, she's going to nag more and she's going to stay there, and I want to see more, and I want to, like, you need to be practical, pragmatic, practical, logical about it. You cannot just stay there. Sometimes, like, people take you for like a cold and cruel person. I worked for years in security, and it's not that. It's like you need to do it in a practical, pragmatic way, and you cannot just stay there and like empathizing, and the person is like dragging the situation even more, you know? Oh dear. I was wondering whether I should leave quietly before he noticed me when my footsteps alerted him to my presence.
거긴 누구지?
I guess I have no choice. I awkwardly walked out of the alleyway. Ask if you can join me. Say you were about to go back. I don't know. I'm just speaking. It doesn't matter, honestly. That bouquet is from me, for Mary. I'll be heading back now.
묵념하러 온 겁니까? 도중이었던 것 같은데 여기 있어도 됩니다. 제가 불청객인 듯하니까요.
Thank you. He seemed to instantly understand what was happening and was kind enough to suggest that I stay. I decided I'll accept it. I shrugged and stood next to him, quietly paying my respects. I thought about all the times I spent with her, with gratitude and admiration. I'll take care of your family, Mary. I'll watch over your daughter until she grows up to become a brilliant young woman. I could sense that he was staring at me. What is it? Did you actually think that I was going to be drinking tea like you said?
실례되는 얘기겠지만 그럴 거라고 생각했습니다.
Rude indeed.
꽃이 예쁘군요.
I just picked them from the garden Mary used to tend to. She would have been appalled at how big I made the bouquet. But now there's no one who'll scold me for it.
그녀는 기뻐할 겁니다.
The smooth, low voice was rather different from when I first met him. I felt a little better thanks to his effort to console me. A chill breeze swept past us as we were standing side by side in silence. I know you are right. I know there's not much I can do. Being upset at this injustice is probably the only thing I can do. Still, if circumstances allow it, I would like to do whatever I can. Even if you tell me to stay out of it, I will probably poke around and investigate. I can protect all the people who live here. But I can't help but hope for the safety and happiness of those within my reach, even if it looks selfish from the outside.
현실적이군요.
He put down the bouquet he was holding and continued speaking.
지나치게 높은 이상을 주장하는 것보다는 좋다고 생각합니다. 분수에 넘치는 욕심이 항상 일을 망치게 만드니까요.
Right.
형사로서는 말려야 한다고 생각합니다만 개개인이 하는 일까지 제가 일일이 알 필요는 없겠죠.
Does that mean?
당신이 하고 싶은 대로 마음껏 하면 됩니다. 단 수사를 방해하지 않는 선에서요.
I thought I caught a glimpse of a faint grin on his face, but by the time I realized it, he was already gone.
황혼의 유령.
Oh, this is it? Oh, it was really fast. Oh, that's cool. Okay, then since I still have time, then maybe I'll do another one today. Yeah, maybe I'll do it. Yeah, I was expecting the English to be worse because I think I heard someone saying that English was bad. But at least from the demo, it didn't seem it to be that bad. And you do have the voice acting. I felt that the situation of the murder and all of it, it was very bland. It didn't immerse us into the murder kind of thing in, let's say, in a powerful way. Like, I wanted it to be a bit more engaging, and I didn't felt like it was engaging enough. But that doesn't seem that going along the game, you're not going to get that, you know? So, I don't know if, sorry, if you feel like this is something that appeals to you, just check it out. As usual, I'm going to leave the link on the description for you to see. And as I told you, it's going on a sale right now. And I think it's like $10 or something right now. Something, yeah, $10 maybe. I don't know. So I don't know, why not just see it? Well then, thank you very much. Maybe I'll put another video today. Maybe I'll do another one, like a tiny one too, okay? Because I won't have like a lot of time, and I don't want to stretch too much my vocal cords. Thank you very much. Then I'll see you next time.